What's up, everyone? My name is Sam. Thanks so much for joining the Sunshine Fitness YouTube yoga channel today. Today's yoga practice is going to be a Sunday reset. It'll be a general full body flow just to get you ready for the day. I'll meet you in the middle of your mat when you're ready in a comfortable cross-legged seat. As usual, bring a pillow or a prop or something to sit on if you prefer. We'll move that pillow after meditation, but just to settle in. Get comfortable on your mat. Today's practice is just going to be a general full body flow. I'm calling it a Sunday morning reset because I'm practicing on Sunday morning, but anytime you need a general full body flow, you can watch this video. If you want to bring a mantra to today's practice, it might be something like, to give care to the world, I first need to care for my mind and bodies, or something similar, something related to resetting, framing your day, being mindful, whatever you need. So as you start to settle in, just start to observe the bodies, the mind, what's distracting you, if anything, what you feel and where. Start to set an intention for your practice today, and as always, don't forget to make it your own. All of my instructions are just cues or suggestions, so feel free to listen to your bodies and take what you need today. Start connecting with the breath if you haven't already. Always connecting with your breath practice first and quieting the mind before we move. Notice the depth of your inhales and the fullness of your exhales. If you are feeling any tightness or tension in the physical body, breathe all the way into that. Try to put your mind's eye there and let something go on your exhale. Once you've settled in and quieted the mind and connected to the breath and connected to your intention for the practice, then we will incorporate movement or just spend a few quiet moments there, whatever serves you today. I'm going to start by gently opening my eyes. And then maybe just rotating through the head and neck. So I'm just going to draw small circles with the nose and slowly expand those. And then generally I end up resting at the bottom of those circles, just tucking the chin toward the chest and rocking gently from the left shoulder to the right and vice versa. But you should listen to your body and incorporate any easy organic movement through the head and neck that your body's asking you for. Just noticing what you feel and where as we move. Thinking about this sort of like slow stretching when you first wake up in the morning. You can take as much time as you want working through that range. And then I would encourage you just to take whatever warm-up asanas or movements your body needs this morning or this afternoon or whenever you're So I'm going to start by just stacking my spine, checking in with my spinal alignment, my posture, pulling the shoulders back. And then I'm actually just going to bring my hands to the traps, to the top of the shoulders, so I can feel the heat continuing through those deep neck muscles and upper back muscles. And I'm just pulling my hands forward really slowly, kind of massaging through those muscles. And basically, this is not an asana, obviously, but basically all I'm doing here is continuing some gentle, organic movement through my neck and just receiving some messages from the body. Noticing points of tension, pressure, or stress. Breathing into those. And releasing when you feel ready. You can do something like that again, or you can come into a self-embrace, stretching through the upper back, by first bringing the palms together at the chest, parallel to the ground, and then opening them up slowly, reaching the backs of the palms toward one another behind the back. Just stretching through the chest, and then bringing the palms slowly back together, bringing one palm under the other, and bringing the hands all the way around to the top of the back, upper back, backs of the shoulders, what have you. You might connect with the breath here, raise your elbows on your inhale, and just slowly, gently, mindfully curl inward on your exhale. And for this stretch, you might feel it more deeply if you're not sitting on a pillow or a prop. But it's fine. Either version is fine. So if you're here, just again notice the fullness of your inhales. Notice the sensations you feel when you inhale deeply. Maybe let some of that stress, tension go on your exhale. You can stay here as long as you'd like, or gently curl back up to change sides. You can also explore any other movement that feels right in your body right now. Before I switch sides, I'm going to bring my palms back together behind my back, just checking in again with that range of motion. And then as I bring the palms back together, I'll bring the opposite underneath this time. Again, hands landing at the top, the upper back. Lifting the elbows with your inhale. Slowly curling inward with your exhale. You can stay in this pose as long as you like. Listen to your body. To come out, you can root down through the sits bones, slowly curl up through the spine. Moving with the breath if possible, extending through the elbows. We'll bring the backs of the palms together behind the back one more time. Noticing what's different, if anything. And then bringing it all back together, palms resting on the knees. I'm going to move my pillow for the next stretch. We're going to start moving through the side body. So from that same comfortable cross-legged position, and feel free to put the opposite shin in front if you need an adjustment or just want to check in with both sides. From that comfortable cross-legged seat, we'll plant the sits bones, extend through the spine, roll the shoulders back, check in with your spinal alignment, check in with the breath. And then let's bring that right palm to the outside edge of the right hip. Keeping that left hip anchored and left knee pulled open, we'll gently slide that right palm away from the body, coming down onto the forearm, or maybe just almost full extension at the elbow. No, sorry. Almost full flexion at the elbow. So just come down as close as you can to the mat without this left hip losing contact with the mat. You can also just rest your left hand on the inside of that left thigh to help you stay anchored. Just not forcing anything, not applying too much pressure, not bouncing or moving really quickly. We're always moving mindfully. Check in with your spinal alignment here, all the way through the cervical spine, so make sure your neck is not out of alignment. You have a nice long line of energy from that left hip all the way up through the left fingertips. And that's what we'll do. Bring the left fingertips all the way up and overhead, and then let them hover somewhere over that right hand, pulling that left hip open. Maybe looking down at your right palm or up toward the ceiling, pulling the left shoulder back. Just listening to your body and connecting with that myofascia through the left side body especially. So you might feel some sensations down the left side of the body or left side of the back. Just checking in there. And you can always make this dynamic by just swinging that left palm forward to in front of you, and then back above the right palm. Or you can just find stillness, connect with the breath, and enjoy that early morning stretch. When you feel good on that side, you can lead with the left hand, bringing it back through center and fully extending through that right elbow to come back up to your comfortable cross-legged seat. Take a second there, reconnect with your spinal alignment and the breath. Don't move too quickly. Take time to notice and just to feel. And when you're ready, we'll bring the left palm to the outside edge of the left hip. Do the same thing on the second side, just sliding that left palm away from the body, pulling that right knee downward, right hip open, making sure you feel connected in that right hip to the mat. And if you can't come all the way down, that's totally fine. Just bend your elbow as much as you can and keep that right hip anchored. So take a second there just to get stable as we did on the first side, and then incorporate any movement that you want to on this side. So you can once again reach that right hand all the way up and over to hover somewhere above the left. Maybe looking up, pulling your right shoulder back, maybe looking down at your left hand. Maybe incorporating some other easy organic movement here, just to connect with the sensations of the bodies. Don't forget your breath. Maybe remember your mantra or what brings you here today. Take your time on this side, noticing what's different, if anything, from the first side. Just noticing in general. And when you feel good about it, come all the way back up to that seated position, checking in again with that spinal alignment and the breath. From here, I'm going to move my right hand to the top of my left knee. I'm going to use my left hand as a guide, bringing it all the way around behind me, planting it behind the tailbone, sitting up, lifting, and twisting toward the left. Maybe looking over your left shoulder at the bookcase behind you. Noticing what you hear, what you feel. Take a couple of deep breaths. And on your next exhale, you can gently release that left hand. Bring it all back towards center. We'll do the same thing on the second side. So just move at your own pace, bringing that left hand to the top of the right knee, using the right hand as a guide, bringing it all the way right shoulder open, maybe looking back over your right shoulder. Reconnect with your breath and gently release everything back through center when you're ready. From here, we're going to roll forward onto all fours, but if there's any other movement that you want to take from this position, please feel free to do that. It's your practice, make it your own, listen to your body. I'm going to roll forward and recenter myself on the mat, finding that nice neutral tabletop spine, palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Coming onto the tops of the feet, and of course we'll start with some spinal flexion and extension, just starting with your cat-cow and any variations you want to take in that. So if you know what to do, go ahead and move at your own pace. If not, we'll inhale, drop the low ribs, lift the gaze, tilt the pelvis. And on your exhale, press into the palms and the tops of the feet, arching through the upper back, low ribs come inward, chin tucked, stretching through the upper back. So sync up with your breath, move at your own pace. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, pressing into the mat, away from the earth. Good. Feel free to incorporate any other easy organic movement from this position. You can draw circles with the ribs or the hips, bending into the elbows. Just moving mindfully, noticing as you go. Quieting the mind and staying connected with the breath. All right, from here, I'm going to come into an extended child's pose and make it dynamic. So I'm going to bring my big toes into touch and send my knees wide. Feel free to continue where you are if that's what's serving you. From here, I'll send my hips back toward my heels and walk the fingertips forward away from the body. Just bringing the forehead down to the mat. Take a moment here, settle in, notice what you feel and where. And then, like I said, we're going to make it dynamic. So let's press into the fingertips, lift the elbows and the forehead. So we'll just walk the fingertips over to the left, landing somewhere over or near that left knee, left thigh. Melting back down, bringing the forehead to the mat or to the earth. Keeping the hips anchored to the heels. And same thing, lift the forehead, press into the fingertips. Let's walk the hands over to the right side. Checking in again with the side body and any other sensations you might feel, like in the hips or elsewhere. Connect with the breath. When you feel ready, we'll press into the fingertips, lift the forehead. Let's walk the hands back through center to the first side, the left, one more time. Melting down the head in the heart space, maybe walking the right fingertips a little bit further away from the body. Staying anchored through the hips. Breathing all the way down the side body into that right hip especially. Good. Press into the fingertips, lift the forehead. One more time, we'll walk over to the right. Same thing there. See what you can notice on this side this time that you didn't the first time. Maybe walking the left fingertips a little bit further from the body. Breathing all the way into that left hip. Press into the fingertips when you're ready. Lift the forehead and we'll come back through center. And those side body movements are going to help us warm up for the next pose. So we'll come press back up into tabletop to start with, bringing the knees back under the hips, palms under the shoulders. Go ahead and center yourself on the mat. And we're going to do a tiger pose on both sides here. So from here, I'm going to plant the left shin in my right palm. I'm going to keep my right knee bent at 90 degrees and just lift my heel toward the ceiling, connecting with the glutes and the hip here. And I'm going to find my balance by lifting that left palm off the mat. So I'm just balancing in that left shin and right palm. When you get stability there, you can bring that left hand to the outside edge of the right foot. Grab the right foot if it's accessible to you. If you fall out, just try again, it's no big deal. And then once you've got that foot in your hand, we'll press up and away from the body toward the ceiling. Opposing those forces, finding your balance, finding a fixed focal point on the mat or on the floor. Notice what you feel and where. And when you feel good about it, you can slowly, gently, mindfully release that left hand and right shin back to the mat. So what we do to one side, we will do to the other. So we can start by keeping that left knee flexed at 90 degrees and sending that left heel up toward the ceiling. Finding your balance this time in your left palm and right shin. Notice if anything's different here. And then bringing that right palm to the outside edge of the left foot. You can grab that foot if it's accessible to you. And then press that foot up and away from the body, opposing the hand. Noticing what you feel and where. Finding your balance. Remember, if you fall out, just get right back in, no big deal. And when you feel satisfied, you can slowly, gently, mindfully release that left shin and right palm to the mat. All right, from here we're going to thread the needle, stretch through the upper back. So I'm going to bring my right palm to the midline of the mat or centered under my chest. I'll then drag the left fingertips along that right arm and across the chest and up toward the ceiling. Full extension at the elbow here, like you're trying to reach the sky. Notice your range of motion here, and then gently guide those left fingertips under the right arm, coming down to the back of the left shoulder, left tricep, with your left elbow fully extended. Right palm is just under the right shoulder. You can go ahead and slide that up toward the corner of your mat. And then just check in by maybe pulling the shoulder in toward the socket or walking the right fingertips a little bit further away. Breathing deep in into the upper back. Noticing what you feel and where. Quieting the mind. And maybe repeating or remembering your mantra. When you're satisfied on this side, you can start by dragging that right palm under the right shoulder. And we'll press into that right palm to slowly unravel, bringing the left fingertips back up toward the ceiling before we switch sides. Notice if anything's different. And gently bring that left hand back down to the earth. Recenter yourself if you need to. This time we'll slide that left palm to the midline of the mat and do the same thing, dragging the right fingertips along that arm, across the chest and up toward the ceiling. ceiling. Really reaching. We'll then use those right fingertips as a guide, bringing that right arm all the way down under the left, coming down onto the right shoulder, right ear, right tricep. Left palm is under the left shoulder, and from there we'll slide it up toward the corner of the mat. And then make this as active or as passive as you'd like. So you can engage that right shoulder by pulling the elbow in toward the shoulder, or pulling the shoulder in toward the socket. Maybe walking the left fingertips a little bit further away. Maybe just quietly reconnecting with the breath and turning inward. Take your time here. Listen to your body and what it needs. When you're ready to come out, we'll slide that left hand back under the left shoulder. Press into that palm. Extend through the left elbow and bring the right fingertips back up toward the ceiling. Just noticing your range or anything you see, hear, or feel. When you're ready, bring that right palm back down to the mat. From here, we'll walk the hands forward. Rotate them slightly away from each other and widen your stance to the edges of your mat. And then we'll drop the chest and forehead down to the mat or to the earth, come into a puppy pose, making this as active or as passive as you want. You can just relax everything. Stay connected through the palms and the tops of the feet. Or you can make this a more active stretch by engaging the abdominals and flattening the back with the lumbar. So bringing the low ribs inward as you do, rolling up onto the forehead. Pressing the armpit chest down to the earth. Take any variation of this pose that works for you. Use this space to turn inward. Maybe let something go on your exhale. When you're ready, move mindfully, gently, slowly. Start by bending the elbows to bring the palms back under the shoulders. We're going to extend through the elbows to press back up for tabletop. From here, I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm going to send my palms forward a bit and rotate them slightly away from each other again. And then we'll extend through the knees, sending the hips up toward the ceiling, coming into your first downward dog of the day. Take your time here. We're going to make it dynamic by pressing one heel toward the mat and then the other, bending into opposite knees. Starting to stretch through the hamstrings here, which we'll pay a little more attention to in the second half of this flow. When you feel good about that, go ahead and plant your feet. No big deal if your heels are not touching the mat, that's totally fine. From here, we're gonna reach across the body with one hand and bring it to the opposite ankle. So I'm going to start with my right hand, planting my weight in my left palm, lifting that right hand up toward the ceiling, and then guiding the right fingers under just to grab that outside edge of the left calf, left ankle. You'll be looking under the left side chest, or just finding stillness here. Go ahead and release that when you're ready. We'll do the same thing on the second side. I'm going to start by lifting my left palm and then guiding the left fingertips under to grab the outside edge of my right ankle, right calf, right shin. Take your time there. If it feels good, release when you're ready. All right, from here we're going to plant the left foot somewhere near the midline of the mat, sliding the right toes down the mat and up toward the ceiling, really reaching. Stretching through the hips there as you do. Let's lift the gaze to between the palms, bend into that right knee, use it to guide the right foot all the way up and through, frame it with both hands. From here we'll pivot on the back foot, pointing the left toes toward the left edge of the mat, pressing into the outside edge of that left foot, and then hinging at the hips, leading with the fingertips, opening all the way up for Warrior Two on the left. Sitting down deeply into that right hip especially, 90-degree angle or something close to that in that right leg. And if you're not there, that's fine. It's your practice, and it's called practice for a reason. We'll take a moment just to build strength here, catch the breath, notice what you feel and where. And then let's cycle that left hand all the way back down, framing that right foot. We can pivot on the left foot so the toes are facing forward. Let's keep that left palm planted. Just drag the right fingertips along the outside edge of that right calf, shin, leg, and then up toward the ceiling. Good. Cycle that right hand back down, framing that right foot. Hands are in line with one another. I'm going to send my right foot back for plank. Hold there for just a second. Maybe whisper, I am strong. And then we're going to slowly lower to the belly for cobra or halfway and onto the tops of the feet for chaturanga or upward facing dog. Whatever's in your practice. Then we'll send the hips up high and back. Coming back onto the balls of the feet. Coming back into your downward dog. Find stillness there or make it dynamic, whatever works for you. And of course, what we do to one side, we'll always do to the other. So this time I'm going to plant my right foot somewhere near the midline of the mat. We'll slide the left toes down the mat and up toward the ceiling, really reaching. Lift the gaze to between the palms. Bend into that left knee. Use the left knee as a guide to bring that left foot all the way up and through. Planting the left foot, framing it with both hands. All 10 toes facing forward. We'll pivot on that back foot. Coming into the outside edge of that right foot. Leading with the fingertips, hinge at the hips. Open up the palms and the torso facing the right. Warrior Two on the second side. Sink down nice and deep in that left hip. Building strength there, finding your focus, finding your balance. Notice what's different on this side, if anything. And when you feel good about it, we'll gently float the hands back down to frame that left foot. Pivot once again, all 10 toes facing forward. We'll plant the right palm and drag the left fingers along the outside edge of that left leg and open up the chest by bringing that left palm toward the ceiling. When you feel good there, go ahead and cycle that left hand back down to frame that foot. And And one more time, we'll vinyasa, beginning by sending that left foot back to a plank pose, maybe holding it for a second, whispering, I am strong. And then let's lower to the belly for cobra, or chaturanga to upward facing dog, whatever's in your practice. And we'll meet again in downward dog. Take your time here, pedal it out. If it feels good, find stillness if it feels good. From this downward dog, we're going to walk the hands up toward the body. Coming into a standing forward fold with full extension at the knees. If this is not accessible to you, you can use blocks here. Or you can gently bend into the knees and press your hands onto the tops of the thighs, working toward full extension, but not bouncing, forcing any shape or anything too invasive. Just be mindful, honor your body. It's not a big deal if you can't make the shape. So my feet are about hip width apart. I'm going to relax through the head, the neck, the shoulders. And there's a lot of variations you can take here, so take any one that's calling to you. If you just want to find stillness, that's fine. You can also bend into the elbows and just grab the opposite arm. Letting your head and neck kind of hang there. You can maybe rock gently from the left to the right. Just moving really slowly and noticing what you feel. You could release the hands to the mat and walk them over to the left or the right to frame the outside of the foot. You could also slide the palms under the feet if that is accessible and desirable to you today. Just bringing the backs of the fingers to the mat, lifting the toes, and sliding the palms under. If you take this variation, just notice how lifting the toes affects the sensations of the backs of the legs. Take a moment, just turn inward. From here we're going to move into Malasana, so if this is not your shape, feel free to move ahead or adapt it for your own purposes. Remember, this is your practice. Make it your own. And to transition into that squat, I'm going to heel toe the feet to the outside edges of the mat, letting my toes just spill off the mat. And then I'm going to bend into the knees, dropping hips down toward the mat, and I will bring my palms together at the heart space, pressing the elbows into the knees. I'm just pressing the knees into external rotation in the hips. Take a second, reconnect with the breath, check in with your spinal alignment. And again, this is your practice, make it your own. If you want to incorporate movement, feel free to do so. You might do that by bringing one hand to the midline of the mat and bringing the other up toward the ceiling. Or you might just gently roll through the soles of the feet, rolling to the left and to the right, checking in with the hips. Or you might go ahead and find stillness. Whatever works for you today. Take your time here. When you're ready, we're going to transition from Malasana into boat pose. So let's try to do that without the hands. So to make that transition work, We're going to first drop the hips down toward the mat, just letting the knees collapse inward slightly to do that. And then we're going to lift the feet from the mat, bringing the shins parallel to the mat, palms open to the left and the right of the shins. You can also just bring your hands to the backs of the thighs, if that's what you need to find balance. You can also extend through the legs, opening the palms up toward the ceiling. Whatever variation works for you. If you fall out of that, no big deal. Get right back in it, beginning by bringing the hands to the backs of the thighs or under the knees, opening up the palms toward the ceiling, and maybe extending through the knees. All right, take your time with this. When you've had enough, we'll gently release the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to come into a seated forward fold with full extension at the knees. So if you know that that's not accessible due to tightness in the hamstrings or some other limitation, you can just keep your knees bent here, bring the arms behind the thighs, and fold forward, relaxing through the head. If you want to try the seated forward fold, we'll start by reaching full extension at the knees, so just sending the legs out long. We're going to check in with the spinal alignment and the connection of the sits bones to the earth. We'll send the palms up and overhead, facing one another, really reaching, getting long through the torso, full extension at the elbows. Connect with the breath. And on your next exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and imagine sending the fingers beyond the feet. Maybe reaching the bottoms of the feet or just the outsides of the shins. Maybe just making it nice and passive, bringing forearms to the mat, opening up the palms toward the ceiling. Relaxing through the head, the neck, the shoulders, and connecting with the breath. Remember, we're not forcing any shape, not bouncing, but moving mindfully, or finding stillness and quieting the mind. Take this time just to turn inward. Let go of what you don't need. And just try to be here now. And gently open your eyes if you close them. Start to bring your awareness back to the sits bones. We're going to slowly curl up to sitting. Now let's try to move as slowly as possible and as mindfully as possible. Just being present in what you notice, but slowing down as much as you can. Good. Let's slowly curl all the way up through the spine, rolling the shoulders back, tucking the chin, getting long through the neck. From here, we're going to bend that right knee and bring the heel in toward the right hip. You can use your hands to pull that right shin inward toward the body. We're then going to use the hands to lift that left heel and bring it to the outside edge. Lift that right heel and bring it to the outside edge of the left thigh. From here, you can keep that left leg long or bend into that left knee. Use your hands to bring that left heel toward the body. We'll bring the left fingertips around and behind the back, planting them, sitting up, lifting and twisting here. Then we'll raise that right hand up toward the ceiling, bend into that right elbow to bring it to the inside edge of the right thigh. And then just kind of use that as a gentle lever to pull that left shoulder back a little bit further, twisting through the spine, looking over your left shoulder. Notice what you feel and where. When you're ready, on your next exhale, we'll gently release that twist, coming back through center. You can unravel the legs to do the same thing on the second side. So legs at full extension, legs out long in front of you. We'll start by bending that left knee, bringing the left heel in toward the hips, using your hands to do that. We can bring the left heel to the outside edge of the right thigh this time. And then again, use your hands if you need to, bend into that that right knee, or leave that right leg out long. Okay, so once you're there, bring the right fingertips behind you, plant them behind the spine, sit up, lift, and twist. And then we'll send that left hand up toward the ceiling, bend into the left elbow, bring it to the inside edge of the left knee, and just pull that right shoulder back with that gentle leverage, looking over the right shoulder this time. Take your time here. If it feels good, when you feel satisfied, gently release those fingertips, coming back through center. Use your hands to unravel through the legs. From here, we're going to roll to our backs and cool down, or take this time to incorporate any other poses that you want to in your practice before our closing meditation. So I like to rock along the spine, just bringing the knees in toward the chest, because it's fun, but you can get to your back however you get there. Feel free to grab a pillow for under the head or neck if you need it. I'm going to start by sending my legs out long, just resting the hands on the body. I'm going to bend into that right knee, bringing the right heel up off the mat. And I'm going to bring my left hand to the outside edge of that right knee, just to guide it across the body to stack my right hip on top of the left. From here, I'm going to reach my right arm out to the right, just fully extending through that elbow, and pulling the back of the right shoulder down toward the mat. Just let your left hand rest gently on that outside edge of the right knee. Not forcing any shape, but just letting gravity do some work here. Stay connected to the breath and your mantra if you need. What we do to one side, we will do to the other. So when you feel satisfied, go ahead and release that right knee. Bring the sole of the right foot back to the mat. You can bring both hands back to the body and recenter the hips on the mat. Send that right foot out long. Full extension in the right knee. We'll bend into the left knee, lift the left foot up off the mat. You can extend through that left elbow, reach that left arm away from the body to the left. Bring the right hand to the outside edge of that left knee. Just use it to guide the left hip on top of the right hip. So kind of stacking the hips and bringing that left knee toward the earth. Remember to pull that left shoulder, back of the left shoulder down toward the mat. Not forcing, not bouncing. And when you feel good about it, you can release that left knee, bring the sole of the left foot back to the mat, recenter the hips, extend through both legs. Take any easy organic movement that you need here. You might try a happy baby pose or reclined bound angle pose. You might cross bent knees over one another and let the hips fall to the left or to the right. You might windshield wiper the legs or whatever feels right. Take your time in that and then settle into your final meditative posture, whatever pose you want to take here, whatever shape you want to take here, whatever helps you connect to your reason for being here on this mat today. Whatever helps you find stillness in the mind and absorb the nutrients of your practice. Reconnect with the breath. Let your body melt down into the mat or into the earth, wherever you're practicing. Take this time just to absorb the nutrients of your practice and allow yourself a few more quiet moments. Not remembering the past or worrying about the future, but just being here in this present moment. I'll leave you here to carry on with your meditation for this morning, this afternoon, or this evening. I hope you take this time just to reset and prepare for your day, your week, or your year. Before I close the practice, I want to recognize that I am facilitating this practice from unceded Monongahela and Osage territories in what is now Western Pennsylvania. I encourage you to find out whose indigenous lands you're practicing on and how to support their ongoing struggles for liberation and land back. Organizing is happening. Look for opportunities to support I'm going to bring my palms together at the third eye. Feel free to join me if it feels right for you, or sink a little deeper into your meditative pose. I also want to recognize that yoga is an ancient spiritual practice that comes from the subcontinent of India and Indian culture. So we recognize and honor that heritage without appropriation. We also recognize that yoga functions in many ways, including as a community. I thank you so much for being part of my community today. I hope you got something you needed here today, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.